Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to KGX to the ZTV. Appreciate everybody tuning in. As you can see, I'm tired. This football club, Chelsea Football Club, will do that to you. Because every day it seems like we are a headline. Like we just can't have just one day where we just chill and it's actually just about the football, right? We know the result: Man City 2, Chelsea 0. Not all doom and gloom when it comes to on the field type things, right? It's actually, we actually, looked somewhat compact. We didn't get rolled over like a lot of folks thought we did. We didn't leak a crazy amount of goals, right? All that stuff, move that stuff to the left. Because we have once again proven that we have no plan when it comes to squad building, right? When we thought we were buying every wonder kid in the eastern and western parts of the world, both northern, southern hemispheres, we go out and we are so desperate to get Conor Gallagher off the books for PSR, FFP, right? Amortize whoever's coming in's contract over. But for this first year, Conor Gallagher goes out the door, 35 million pounds, 40 million plus add-ons, all whatever the final numbers are, right? That's all money that's reported this year. So what do? We finagle our way out of Samu Omaridian's contract, right? Don't really give a true definitive answer as to or a reliable source as to what actually transpired, right? Was it medical? I doubt it was medical because he was playing for Spain in the Olympics. Was it the fee? Don't think it was the fee because originally in the summer, like the early summer, he was quoted as like 60 million, like something crazy. So when it came down to 35, even though it was way too high at 35, people were just like, yo, it's not 60. All right, we can see the tools. We've seen the comps. We've seen, a few 90s here and there with the Spanish national team, under 21s or under 23s at the Olympics. All right, you can see the potential. I mean, he's a monster for 25, 26, 27. To put all that into a 20-year-old's body, it's kind of spooky. He did give me a lot of Lukaku vibes when I watched him for Spain, right? Maybe a little bit more mobile, but then again, young Lukaku, very mobile, very good at running channels. Wasn't just, pinning folks deep and laying it off or converting, but very, very raw, right? So 35 million, definitely crazy talk. But that deal collapses. So having just brought in Pedro Neto, Jroge Mendes, super agent / super dickhead, part of the people that, in my mind, not only him, he's not all to blame, but a lot of folks like him, which are ruining the sport, right? Because agent fees are uncapped, and being uncapped, they just have way too much sway over player deals and things like that, and they're not always looking out for their best interests, my club included, right? I look at some of these kids that have come to Chelsea, and I'm just like, you're never going to make the grade, even with this B-side or B-level Chelsea team, maybe even C-level Chelsea team compared to some of the teams that we were used to. I'm not even talking about the 21 Champions League team. That team would have been an average Chelsea team when we were firing on all cylinders, like we were for certain spans, certain years within the Roman era, right? It wasn't as consistent as it should have been, blah, blah, blah. That's a different topic. But so super agent Jroge Mendes, after getting the Neto deal, which credit to the board, Biggie said it best, bad boys move in silence and violence. It popped up out of nowhere. I mean, it was 9 o'clock, look down at my phone, get a text, you guys got Neto? Who? What? I didn't even know we were in for him. Like, legit didn't hear any links. All the links that I heard was Spurs all summer. And after watching Spurs today, I'm like, Brandon Johnson, Pedro Neto, they paid $65 for Solanke. If they would have went out and got Solanke and Pedro Neto, top 4, top 3, close the gap between Arsenal and City, assuming that their big guns are injury free. Romero, Van de Ven, Udogie, Madison, and folks like that. But again, I divert. But so we get Neto out of the blue. Nice, very nice signing, right? Everyone knows he's a baller, right? Very, very good. It was only a matter of time before he moved to a big club. But the injuries, right? So that's obviously the big concern. For what we paid, $50 million. I mean, he's gonna have to bang. But I like him as a player, right? He's the kind of player that we should be going for, right? Of a good age, good potential, still good potential, still good ways to go. Starting to find his feet at the international level. Just a really, really good player, right? We've seen him in transition for Wolves, just killing teams. No problem there. But while the ink's probably not even dry on Neto's contract, and Mendes is in Bali's ear, maybe Todd Bowley's ear, maybe some of the directors. Yo, you remember that guy that we sent there a year and a half ago? What's up? He liked it in London. He says he loved playing for Chelsea. You run it back? What they should have said was, "No, we're good. We're good. I know, we need this $35 million or whatever we got for Connor for year 1, but nah. Like, can we? I mean, we can look down the roster of folks that they have, right? Because not only is it João Felix who to work for Barca and they ended up getting sent home, said we don't want you. Atleti doesn't want him. Poch told or Lampard told Poch about him. So, we know that Maresca, to be honest with you, I don't think, I know he's technically just the head coach, but my money would be on him not saying, give me that guy. I can't imagine him watching back the Man City tape and being like, yeah, you know what we need? We need another 10. And then if you can give us like an inconsistent one at it, yeah, even better. Nah, man, he's looking at that. He's seeing center back still an issue. He's probably seeing. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll give him a little credit. He could be seeing Enzo playing in the 10 and being like, you know what? Like, we'll find a way to make Enzo work when we drop deep. When he plays with his looking at the goal and not with his back to goal. So maybe he's looking at that aspect, and maybe he's saying, and Nkuku's a little bit injury prone. We really, we're putting more onus back-to-back years on Cole Palmer, which, obviously he's a very good player and should only get better. But asking him to produce another season, historic season like he did last year in his first full season, like that's a lot to ask of a kid. And if Palmer went out and did that 2 years in a row, that's like serious. That puts him in some serious conversations with some other players, right? Obviously, he's still got a lot to do to catch the greats like Salah and things like that. I wouldn't even put them in the same sentence. Consistency, right? But that's the levels that if you want to get to that Mohamed Salah level, if you want to get to even that, I would say even that Saka level, although his numbers were better than any that Saka ever had in the Premier League. But if you want to get to that elite right winger level, so we'll just say the bar is Salah, right? That's 6-7 years of top flight production in the league on good title winning teams one year, challenging teams the next year. Good in Europe, right? 3 straight finals, winning one of them, Champions League finals. That's the bar, and that's just asking a lot of a kid, right? Salah came back after he didn't make it with us, partly just because I think he was just too young, just too big of a move. He went, got his game right, Serie A, Fiorentina, came back and put in the work. No hard feelings. He deserves all the success that he's seen. So, like I said, he set the bar high in terms of that right wing spot. So maybe he looked Maresca, getting back to the 10, looked at it and said maybe we need him, but he would have been there at the end of the summer. But then again, you just risk the kind of Gallagher move not going through. So, personally, I would much rather have Gallagher, especially with Chuku going out on loan, with Santos going out on loan. I think we're putting a lot of pressure on Caicedo, who's played a lot of football the last 2 years, right? Once he came to us and got his legs right, he was a starter week in, week out. Copa America this summer. Heavy minutes the year before that with Brighton, even in Europe. So he's got a lot of miles on his legs for a young guy. And you see when he's not, his legs aren't right, he's dangerous. I'll just say that, like, dangerous to the opposition in terms of, like, he could hurt someone, and he's dangerous to us in the sense that he is almost a walking booking, right? Like, he's just one of those players that just starts the game out with a yellow card, and you're just like, all right. Although I give him credit because towards the end of last year he was very close to being suspended, and it was part of him just playing better last year in our system and really being one of the linchpins in terms of how I don't want to say turned the season around, but made it somewhat respectable, right? Like, we weren't a huge banner club just because United was so trash in the league, but then they ended up winning the FA Cup. So karma's a bitch, right? But can't look at our squad and be like, that's the need. Striker, we've seen Jackson, and to Jackson's credit, 20 minutes in preseason, coming off a big injury over the summer. I had to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting him to start. But he showed some of the same signs last year. I thought he was unlucky to not get that goal on the overhead kick, but he had a couple chances where he broke the line, and just the one where he cut across the box and just shot fake a couple times, and then he ended up shooting. It was a good job of getting his shot off, which was better than what we saw last year. But same thing, like, lift it. He just, the variety of finishes is just not there because he's just not a natural striker. But he brings so much other good stuff to the table. He's hardworking. He can spin defenders. He spun Diaz. He spun Akanji a couple times. So he's dangerous with the ball at his feet, driving at somebody. So he's got enough tools that you can live with his frustrations. But if we ever want to get to the level that we should be at, he should be. We should try to upgrade on him and let him see, this is the old Chelsea way of we've got Drogba, but we're going to go out and give Shevchenko. We're going to go out and we're going to get Torres. We're going to go out and get all these other guys that spend big money on them, that ultimately we'll see if that pushes you to rise or if you fall down, right? Even like Nicolas Anelka, like when we got him, he was the leading goal scorer, I think, for the first half of the season at Bolton or some shit like that, and just pushed Drogba to that next, once he got there, him and that partnership just took off. So, it's not always a bad thing, and you need players pushing you in this sport, or else you can get stagnant, right? Unless you're the elite of the elite, Messi's, Ronaldo's, Hazard's at the time, Neymar's, all those greats, whose spot was pretty much locked, Mbappe, now. So, you need that competition. You need somebody to kind of help you not get complacent, work on your game. So, but like I said, we'll see. I mean, maybe, there's a lot of pros, there's a lot of cons when you think about it in the João Felix move. My issue is just, does he immensely improve the first team? And is it a glaring weakness or a hole that he's filling? No, I don't think we'll have too many issues with pending injuries, with creativity and creating chances, and we did that versus City. Better XG, even though I'm not a huge data stat nerd like that, but doesn't improve the first team. I think he brings a lot of undesirable qualities when he's defending, or lack of defending, with effort. Even when he does, he's reckless, as we've seen him get sent off in his first appearance when he was on loan here, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. So, but we'll see. He'll come. we'll support because that's what true fans do. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, clean slate under a new manager, new system, new style, new players to kind of to connect with, some familiar faces too, so that might help. But he's going to have to hit the ground running for us. But the good thing is we've got a ton of games, and given our injury history, maybe he is. Maybe I'm talking myself my way into saying, you know what, for the price, reduced wages, it might be worth the risk. I mean, we've seen him on his day. He's very easy on the eyes, but we'll see. I'm more worried about just Maresca, giving him all these players and trying to get him to. He's got to make them all gel. He's got to trim the squad, and you're just throwing more players at him, more players at a first-time coach who's, the first-time manager at this level. So, a lot of causes for concern. Also, a lot of tidbits of optimism. So, we'll see. But Thursday, we'll do maybe a little preview. Although I'll be honest with you, I have no idea. But the other team, Servette, we'll take a look at their roster, and then we'll do a little preview. So, check back in Thursday morning, Wednesday night. Appreciate everybody. Like, subscribe. Catch you at the next one.